Well, live from South Beach, it's Team Boxing League. Week 7 continues in South Florida as the league's undefeated Miami Assassins play host to the Boston Butchers on their home turf. We welcome you inside our TBL studios, everybody. Glad to have you with us alongside the Hall of Famer Dave Bontempo. I'm Justin Shackles. So you have Boston and Miami, two teams that have taken different paths to get to the matchup here this evening. We know there are difference makers with the Boston Butchers, Dave. The question is, can they come through against Team Boxing League's highest scoring squad?
Well, Justin, right now, the numbers are good for Miami. Plus 32 differential, tops in the league. 13 fighters with winning records, tops in the league. This team has been on a mission since day one. So they're 3-0. And meanwhile, for Boston, coming over an administrative overturn, a victory against New York. They may not be as deep on paper, but they've got some excellent performers, including one of the best in the league in Rashidi Ellis. Speedy Rashidi. Run to try and count up these victory numbers. 29. He is one of the torchbearers for TBL. He's got the footwork, and at times he'll show you that power, as he did against New York. Look at the angle, the short right hand, and multiple points for Boston. Rashidi Ellis, one of the leaders of the Boston team. Now, Miami, they have been a juggernaut. How about Ruiz? This is a guy who's Mel Ruiz. Boom, the big left hand, showing you some knockdown power, opportunism. He is good. He's not even the most celebrated member of the team. This guy is. Yosiel Napoli, 6-0, top point getter in all of TBL. The huge knockout there. Right now, he exemplifies an exceptional Miami team.
Yeah, Miami coming in at 3-0, Boston at 1-1. I love that you highlighted Rashidi Ellis, because when we take a look at the launch rounds, we want to watch round 6. We love fat round numbers here, Dave, right? Win number 30 right there on the other side of 3 minutes for Rashidi Ellis, but he has to get through Giovanni Estella.
And we're really looking forward to this, because even though Rashidi Ellis has been practically unstoppable, Giovanni Estella has been a force. New team, good outlook, getting some knockout victories early in the year. Veteran himself. Is this the time that he can topple the big guy? We'll find out.
Well, let's go over to War Memorial Auditorium and check in with the third member of our broadcast crew, Rashidi Ellis's former teammate with the Boston Butchers. That's Emilio Moore. Emilio, great to see you. So we're keeping our eyes on round 6 in the launch rounds, but what do you have your eyes on for the middle rounds?
Justin, I've had my eyes keenly looking at round 12, which will be Boston's Kino Luna and Miami Assassins' Darius Jackson. So Kino Luna, as we've seen over and over again, has just always exemplified that resiliency, that toughness, explosiveness, and a really deep gas tank to be able to put on some pressure. But Jackson, on the other hand, as he stepped in the ring over and over again this season, he's looked sharper and sharper as time goes on. He's got this amazing footwork, timing, and very, very fast twitch countering, which I think the pair of them are going to produce a really intriguing round to kind of watch out for. So with that being said, I would like to just take a moment and just state that TBL would like to send a very warm congratulations to Victor Abreu and his wife Janelli. So tonight, after Victor fights on round 2, he will be leaving pretty promptly to go meet his wife at the hospital for the soon arrival of his first daughter, Victoria. So congratulations to the Abreus. This is a very special moment.
That is wonderful. It could be a big night to remember for the Abreu family. Thanks, Emilio. We look forward to catching up with you as the rounds progress tonight. We're going to take our first break. When we come back, we'll meet the fighters for both teams and go straight into the launch rounds. Miami trying to stay undefeated. Boston looking for 2 wins in a row. The action begins next. Team Boxing League is brought to you by Balance of Nature. In boxing, consistency beats intensity. Balance of Nature supplements help you stay consistent with ingredients of whole foods that you can easily slot into your daily routine. Go to balanceofnature.com. Use code TEAM and start today. Getting set to go between Miami and Boston from South Florida. Let's go meet the teams and get inside the ring with Ray Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next chapter of high-impact, non-stop action. This is Team Boxing League, where every round matters and every fighter leaves it all inside the ring. Each moment of TBL season airs live on MSG Networks and Envoy TV, with Spanish language coverage available on Estrella TV. Welcome to the War Memorial Auditorium here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, for tonight's Week 7 matchup between the visiting Boston Butchers and your hometown, the undefeated Miami Assassins. We would like to thank Executive Director Tim Shipman and the Florida Athletic Commission for hosting tonight's event, along with our fine sponsors, Climax Moonshine Fire number 32, Balance of Nature, and Serenity Springs Recovery Center. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the visiting Boston Butchers.
The Boston Butchers coming on the road, and they're trying to hand Miami their first defeat of the season, but they're looking for 2 in a row after, what would you call it, Dave, an administrative overturn? That's what happened with Boston last time out against New York City.
Yes, it was the final bout, and it was an apparent knockout for New York, but because of a late blow being struck, the result was changed, and so New York went from a 4-point knockout victory and a win to a 4-point Boston victory. It is the biggest call, points-wise, in the history of TBL. It's an 8-point swing. Now, you know, can you take advantage of that? That's the big question for Boston now. It fills you up. Hey, we got to win. Take a look at Jimmy Birchfield, key members and big parts of this team.
Jimmy's wearing the warm-up, Dave. He's wearing the Butcher warm-up. That's spectacular.
Jimmy Birchfield and head coach Alex Rivera. Here are the starting lineup for the Boston Butchers. Featherweight Brandy Robinson. Featherweight Eric Emery. 2020 Olympian representing the Dominican Republic. Lightweight Alexia De La Cruz. Welterweight Javon Bess. Current WBC U.S. Silver Champion. Super welterweight Jaye Golden Child Brown. Current WBC Silver Champion, ranked number 2 in the world by the WBO and 15th by the WBC. He's a 2-time TBO All-Star and most exciting fighter, middleweight Rashidi Speedy Ellis. Super middleweight Ronald Ellis. Heavyweight Michael Coffey. Featherweight Katla Torres. Lightweight Abreu Francois. World rank and former world title challenger, super lightweight Camila Panada. Welterweight Kino Luna. Light heavyweight Steven Sumter. Cruiserweight Miguel Teo. And heavyweight Skylar Lacey. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Boston Butchers. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your hometown, the undefeated Miami Assassins.
Well, the 3-0 Miami Assassins come down to the ring, and they are turning into must-watch TV in Team Boxing League this season, Dave, because they're 3-0. They're the only team to have amassed at least 20 points in each event so far.
And they give you the impression, Justin, that this is a magical breakout season for them. There were points last year, but this team was sizzling hot at certain points of the year. And they're giving an indication that they may be the sizzling hot team this year. Remember, Las Vegas was undefeated during the regular season last year. Well, we got a couple teams that may think that they have a shot to do it this year. And so for Miami, if they win tonight, they're halfway through the schedule unbeaten.
The Miami Assassins are led by their head coach, the world-renowned trainer, Herman Caicedo. Here is the starting lineup for Miami. Featherweight Samantha Ginnathan. Featherweight Victor Abreu. Lightweight, the #1 ranked pound-for-pound fighter in TBL, Yustiela Napoles. Welterweight, Estudia Suero. Super welterweight, Yoelis Molina. The #1 ranked middleweight, Giovanni Estela. Super middleweight, Yusmel Ruiz. Heavyweight, Nestor Santana. Featherweight, Samantha Sosa. Former Olympian and WBA IPO featherweight champion, lightweight Claudio the Matrix Marrero. Super lightweight Sofia Verenti. Member of the 2024 Haitian Olympic team, welterweight Darius the Hawk Jackson. Light heavyweight Isaac Carbonell. Two-time light heavyweight title challenger, Uneski the Monster Gonzalez. And heavyweight Alonso O'Neill. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the Miami Assassins. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we all ask that you all please rise, if you're able to, for the singing of our national anthem being sung this evening by renowned vocalist Jasmine McClover.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Jasmine McClover with the singing of our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to begin the launch rounds between Miami and Boston. We will begin round one at featherweight. For Boston, it is Brandy Robinson. From Miami, Samantha Ginnathan.
So here we go from War Memorial Auditorium in South Florida. Samantha Ginnethan and Brandy Robinson will start it off as Miami meets up with Boston. The Miami Assassins trying to move to 4-0. Boston looking for a second straight victory, as you see Brandy Robinson right there. So we start at 126 pounds. Justin Chaco, Dave Bontempo, Amelia Moore with you. Glad to have you along as we continue week 7 in Team Boxing League. Ginnethan in the silver trunks with the black top. All blue fight kit is Brandy Robinson as we take a look at Samantha Ginnethan, 35 years of age. Rookie of the Year finalist from 2 seasons ago.
Hey, what I really like in her last bout against Kaylee Ann Knight is she took away the right hand of someone who had used it to score a knockout. So you know the big shot is coming, and you have to be ready for it. And he did. She tamed that right hand, and she was able to get a victory. Here again, that's the matchup going in, as Robinson would like to try and get that lead right hand home, but it is Ginnethan dictating.
She's staying in the center of the ring as well. Megan Robinson come to her, and Brandy Robinson does just that right there in that sequence. She wasn't in action in the last event for Boston. Again, an 18-14 victory over NYC a couple of weeks ago. She won her season opener over Brenda Cardenas. 6-4 in TBL action after entering the league last year.
Step back.
A good right hand. That met Ginnethan, she shakes it off.
And that was a heads-up move by Robinson off the break to jump in there. And just an excellent sense of timing. Get right to it. And she got there first. She got her punch home.
And both women timing up their respective left hands over the last 40 seconds or so. Ginnethan off to a 3-0 start this year.
Got a little cat and mouse strategic back and forth here, with Ginnethan stalking, but Robinson making her pay for it with some big shots.
There have been moments in this round here, Dave, where, you know, we're talking about Ginnethan controlling the ring positioning in the middle, but I mean, that shot right there, a little after the clinch, was as if she was asleep at the wheel.
And for Robinson, twice she capitalized on just great instinctive timing. Okay, the break, it's like I'm going to rush in and try and score, which she did. And Robinson has caught some moments in which Ginnethan showed her an angle that wasn't there before. Like, there you go. The lead right hand as you're backing up. That's an unorthodox move, and that's one reason it got in. So you're trying to defend that. You don't think the lead right hand is coming while your opponent is backing up. So credit Robinson for issuing some interesting looks.
A competitive first round where they mostly fought for ring positioning, with some good right hands from Brandy Robinson as we take a look at some of the action.
There she gets the good positioning and scores with a nice right hand. Again, the rush. Hey, you think that she's going to show you one thing, and even as she's backing up, she will come in, all right, I'm just going to jab, I'm backing up. No! And that was almost a beautiful shot. I love the thinking. Whatever happens, I just love the thought process there.
TBL fans, the winner of round 1 by way of unanimous decision. From the Boston Butchers, Brandy Robinson.
Well deserved. Well deserved. A good fight and a very cagey performance by Robinson.
Round 2 at featherweight. Boston, Eric Emery. Miami, Victor Abreu.
So Emery and Abreu at 126 pounds. This is going to be what Victor Abreu hopes the fastest 3 minutes of his entire life, right, Amelia?
Absolutely, he's got to get out there and finish this fight clean and get on to see his wife and little girl soon to be.
Now the question is he going to leave the arena with his gloves on and save some time?
That makes perfect sense.
Maybe I'll just scoot out of here.
Yeah.
Hey, how about separating the two things, though? You think it's difficult, or you think he's just motivated with the adrenaline for what's coming after?
He seems quite locked in tonight. I was very excited about this matchup between Emery and Abreu. I had a feeling that the two of them, they're so fast, they're so precise, and they've got very good footwork. It's just like, it's kind of like a mirror.
Both off to quality starts to their respective seasons. Maybe I'm getting carried away here with this storyline, but I mean, we know about this. Does a guy like Eric Emery know that his opponent is about to rush to the hospital to help his wife give birth to their child? I mean, if he does, doesn't that play a little trick in your mind?
Well, you're also thinking, hey, you know what? It's a special, a different kind of night, and then wondering about like can you separate the two ideas, and can you focus on what's coming ahead? Actually, I would, if I knew, I wouldn't be thrilled about going against a guy who basically has a great moment in his life awaiting him, and sometimes, like, then it becomes a complete great night for the guy. That's the right hand you see that dropped Ray Robinson last week for Victor Abreu.
Good takedown from Victor Abreu, 2 points.
And then you say, hey, you can't do anything to me. I'm going to be a father later today. He's been getting points, too, all over. 3 points the last week, 2 the previous week.
Emery ducking out of the way of that strong right hand. And Abreu trying to go to work in the corner. 30 seconds to go here in round number 2.
Emery doing a great job, deflecting those shots. I think a lot of times people get caught in the, good right hand from
Abreu. Oh, he buckled his legs. Abreu has Emery hurt. 20 seconds to go in the second round. He knows he landed that right hand flush.
Would be the pre-Hollywood ending for him here if he can get extra points before leaving.
Really, how those legs looking on Emery?
He looks like he's coming back underneath his feet again. Right to the bell, gentlemen. Fantastic.
Could not replicate what he did last week with that right hand, but yeah, he knows there's a lot of pop in there.
Yeah, and he put everything into it. A terrific right hand here by Victor Abreu. And of course, the veteran sense of knowing how to follow up. See how he's planted, how he's balanced, doesn't waste a moment, doesn't waste a motion in trying to capitalize. And to Emery's credit, he held him off for any further damage.
Fans, the winner of round 2 by way of unanimous decision. From the Miami Assassins, Victor Abreu.
So a victory, and now he leaves the arena. Off to the hospital.
He's going to launch from the launch rounds into his family's emotional money rounds. What a night for Victor Abreu.
Round 3 at lightweight, Boston, Alexi de la Cruz.
So we say congratulations to the Abreu family. And we move along to round number 3. Alexi de la Cruz, Yosdel Napoles. Napoles, one of the standout fighters for this undefeated Miami squad. Coming in at 6-0.
And I think there's something, we talk about the TBL stats and looking up the leaderboards. As you take a look at Victor Abreu basking in this great moment, Napoles, you're seeing your name on the leaderboard for the league. Top pound-for-pound fighter. You're hearing it announced. And you know what? That just has to make you better and make you want to do more. You got to look at it here. All right, you're up on top, and that's where Kai Brooks was a couple weeks ago. You're the leader of the league. You just love to look at that stat page and hear it.
And 2 of those 5 leaders are going to be squaring off tomorrow as Atlanta and Philly tangle. Stacey Settles and Ariel Davis. Both gentlemen with low guards and launching from down below. De La Cruz made his TBL debut on March 29th. Got him win. Split 2 rounds with Ryan Zempoteke a couple of weeks ago against NYC. He was trying to pick off Napolis, the Cuban.
Now, it's a good fighter to get a split with. Napolis, good straight movement in, jabbing his way, and then always prepared for a power shot.
Good slick combo with 2 punches. The right to the body, then the left hook. He holsters that right hand really well.
Yeah, he's ready to explode with it, and then you love the quickness of the left hook if it's there for him, and immediately closing the distance on the fighter. So this is when you score a knockdown in one of your early fights, you know, and you're fighting soon after, that carries over. Some expectations of, look what I did. Maybe I could do it again. And there was that
another 2-punch combo. So that left hook putting an exclamation point on some of his combos here in the 3rd round.
And De La Cruz is tempting fate with where his hands are.
.25 seconds to go in the 3rd. Can we see more impact shots from Napolis? Good left counter from De La Cruz. Decorated amateur out of the Dominican Republic. So it's the DR against Cuba in round number 3 here in the launch rounds.
And what a surprise. Both guys have been technically excellent in this one.
The bell sounds. Both men will be back in action a little bit later on tonight, albeit against different opponents. We'll see who comes out on top from the judges' scorecards. We'll take a look at the action.
Double jab by Napoli. See how he keeps his posture and positioning. So the power shot wasn't there that time. Maybe it will be there another time, like right now. The good shot with the hook. And then again, retreating, setting it up, making sure the stage makes sense for him.
TBL fans, the winner of round 3 by way of split decision. From Boston, Alexia De La Cruz.
That's a big one for Boston, and a little bit of a surprise,
round
perhaps.
4 at welterweight,
Miami.
Boston.
As we get the intros.
Javon Bess. Miami, Estudi Metibara Suero.
That's a big surprise and a setback here in the launch rounds.
Yeah, and with those power shots that were being thrown by Napoli, I thought he could have gotten a better fate on the scorecards. But if you're on the other side, De La Cruz, this is why you stay with it. This is why you jab. This is why you counter, because you don't know how they're seeing it.
Let's go ringside as we get started with round number 4. Amelia Moore standing by.
So I'm ringside here with Pat Sullivan, who's the assistant GM of the Boston Butchers. Pat, you know Rashidi better than anybody, you know, besides Alex and Andrew. And when he had his last match on March 24th against Lasha Bugliati, he looked phenomenal. He looked incredibly sharp. Have you seen any of that in him moving into tonight?
Yeah, I think with Rashidi, he's an incredibly motivated fighter. He takes a lot of pride in that we call him the greatest TBL fighter of all time. And he wants to prove that every time he goes out. So Lasha last year fought his brother twice, fought one of his teammates, Mike Fontenay. So there was a lot of extra motivation. I think you saw that in the fight. Lasha's a hell of a TBL fighter. He's super durable, never gets dropped. Rashidi dropped him twice. And I think you're going to see it tonight, too. And you look at the ratings, and they get Giovanni Estella right there with Rashidi, and he's #1 in points. And Rashidi's an upset. Rashidi's not a guy you want to fight in the ring, and he's upset tonight. So I think we're going to see the best Rashidi we've seen, and he's got to prove that he needs to go to TBL.
I mean, Ellis is always such a competitive athlete. He is competitive with everything. He's on the doorstep of his 30th career win with TBL. Can you just kind of talk to what that shows for like not only his competency in the ring, but his consistency and what that shows with TBL, but also his future in in the regular professional ranks.
Yeah, so Rashidi's also ranked #2 in the world. And for him to be continually now in his 3rd year of TBL, I think it shows just what this platform means to boxing. And I think you're going to see a lot of other fighters that are top ranked like Rashidi come in and do TBL because of guys like him. You can see that there's a great way to continue in the sport, to make some money, to have fun, to be part of a team, but also really make a name for himself. And I think Rashidi's success in boxing, a lot of it has come from TBL, but he's incredibly motivated. He never leaves the gym. He's always in great shape. He's always motivated to fight. And the thing about him is we always put him in a money rack because he's the best fighter in the league. So, when he does go, he always fights twice. So if he fights twice and wins twice, he stacks up the wins pretty good. So I expect 2 great performances tonight.
Awesome. Thank you, Pat. I appreciate your insight and getting on the mic with us tonight. Justin?
Patrick Sullivan, the assistant GM there with Amelia. A milestone watch coming up in round 6. Rashidi Ellis will be in action, going for his 30th career TBL win against Giovanni Estella. And I love what he said about a fighter like Ellis, as Suero, who's been landing some really impactful punches, connects with the right hand, is a prime example of how higher-ranked fighters are starting to take wind and notice of Team Boxing League as a way to stay fresh, stay active. I don't know if we need more evidence in this sport, Dave, to show that if you stay active, good things are going to come.
Yeah, first of all, you have a match coming up every couple of weeks, and it's like a track star that gets sprint workouts. You get one-round workouts, and the whole idea of every round being the last round, it's going to train you that when I need a round, when I absolutely have to have a round and it's critical, I'm going to go back to my TBL roots here and remember what it was like to fight when every round mattered. This round mattered to these guys. Good big right hands coming in. There is Suero. Best got his jab in, and then Suero got his right hand in. Gave us very good wire-to-wire effort, both fighters.
Team Boxing League fans, the winner of round 4 by way of unanimous decision from the Miami Assassins, Estudi Metivara Suero.
So Suero picks up the win via unanimous decision. We are tied at 2 through the first 4 rounds. And that's due in part to Victor Abreu picking up a win in round number 2. The father-to-be off to the hospital. We are off to round 5 next. Miami and Boston tied at 2 in South Florida. Let's get straight to round 5. We go back to Ray Flores.
Round 5 at super welterweight, Boston Jai Brown, Miami Yoelis Molina.
Exceptional matchup on several fronts. One of them is that these guys are both hot. Combined, they're on a 14-1-1 run. 2 guys who have been used to winning lately now facing each other.
And Brown and Molina, the first of 2 rounds between these 2 gentlemen tonight. They'll meet up again in the 13th round. So no money round action, but here they are early, and they're going to have a fairly quick turnaround. Snap jab from both men. Brown 4-0 to start the season. Went 14-2 for the Butchers last year. Now 21-5 in his TBL career.
Brown has more than held his own against the top competition in TBL. He's one of the guys just under the radar because of Ellis, but he is a stalwart on this team and one of the top fighters in the league.
This is Boston's Batman and Robin.
Yes, yes.
Ellis going for his 10th career win in Team Boxing League, 2-1 after taking 2 out of 3 rounds against Amin Mitchell against Atlanta.
Against Atlanta, they won the second time much more forcefully than the first time, showing improvement in the upward arc. And we're seeing 2 fighters who are using intelligence in their upward arc right now. 2 guys used to winning, saying this stylistic matchup is one where I'm going to try to set up something big, and I'll be patient about it.
Molina with a good angling left hand. Through on the move. A little over a minute to go in the 5th round. And a strong 4-punch combo from Uelis Molina on Jaye Brown.
That was actually the most definitive sequence we've seen so far.
Molina flying the jet plane on that tangle. Brown trying to come back with the counter.
I think what's really interesting here in the final 30 seconds is you've had 2 fighters being cautious. Well, you know, one burst can produce a point for your team. Right now, it is Molina trying to be the fighter unleashing that burst. It doesn't really matter if not much is happening, maybe over the large body of a fight. If you sense this is the time to make a difference, you'll still put your team on the board.
Final moments, and that'll do it. Good competitive round between Brown and Molina. Well,
not quite sure about the body language. There's something about sleeping.
I think Brown's ready to go for the middle rounds already.
Yes, and there was like now, this is Molina trying to come out now and get that separation I talked about. With the final minute, he found combinations, the footwork, and also bringing the head back on the angle, hit and not get hit. He had a good minute of doing that.
TBL fans, the winner of round 5 by way of unanimous decision from Miami, Uelis Molina. The score, Miami 3, Boston 2. Round 6 at middleweight, Rashidi Ellis for Boston. Coming from Miami, Giovanni Estella.
It's our round to watch in the lunch rounds. There is the 29-3 Rashidi Ellis. That's his career record in Team Boxing League. And with a victory here, could be the first of 30 wins in the league. Went 14-2 last season. In his 3rd season in TBL against an undefeated fighter in 2026 in Estella. First time they're fighting with one another in this league.
Go figure that after all the time that they have spent in the league and right up on the leaderboard for middleweights. You see it right here. And, you know, a 10-fight win streak right now for Rashidi Ellis inside that 29-3 record. And we saw Estella get 4 points. Deshaun Prather, a couple rounds back. He has shaken off 4 losses to Jaye Brown. And otherwise, you take them away, he's almost perfect.
A lot of that happening when Estella was a member of the New York City Attitude. intriguing storyline within this matchup. That long 75-inch reach for Estella and how it affects the speed of Rashidi Ellis. But Ellis only knows one gear, one speed. It is ultra high, and it's a knockdown here in the 6th.
We saw that at the highlights at the beginning of the show. He's sneaky with that. Now watch his spacing, positioning.
Ellis choosing to be even more aggressive than he was before getting knocked down. And Ellis looks like a cat playing with his food. So can win number 30 come with a possible stoppage?
And he has settled back into, again, awaiting opportunity, seeing if he can hurt Estella again, and he did land that stiff jab. And smart enough not to come straight at Estella, who launched the counterattack but found that Ellis wasn't there.
So it's the first knockdown of the evening. And right now, Boston is in line for 2 points. Again, all the points scored, they add up for your team. It's 1 point by way of a judge's decision. If you score a knockdown, it's 2 points. 2 or more knockdowns is 3 points, and a stoppage, either via knockout or TKO, that's 4 points. And Ellis continues to go to work, scraped him with a left uppercut moments to go.
Well, he has looked at these finishing opportunities like he's late for a train or something. He has come barreling in, eats a shot now, but he's really feeling it right now.
15 seconds to go here in round 6. Rashidi Ellis making it a memorable one. And Rashidi Ellis getting some last licks in on Giovanni Estella. Ellis likely on the way to becoming the first to 30 wins in Team Boxing League history.
Let's take a look at what was the big separator. Boom, that right hand. Gloves touch. He set it up, and exquisite timing. And after that, look at the positioning. Up, back, sweet uppercut, the hook. Now he's going for the knockout, but he's not putting himself in a vulnerable position. That's the veteran move. Instinctive, speedy, and effective. That is quite a performance for
TBL
number
fans,
30.
the winner of round 6 by way of unanimous decision. 2 points going to Boston's Rashidi Ellis. The score, Boston 4, Miami 3. Round 7 at super middleweight, Boston Ronald Ellis, Miami Yusmel Ruiz.
Well, after Rashidi Ellis, it's older brother Ronald Ellis getting back in the ring. He's going for another victory after splitting 2 rounds with NYC's Brian Polanco. And Yusmel Ruiz, 3-3 start to this season, in for 2 here in really a pick-up match between he and Ellis. So the elder Ellis going to work here. Amelia, we saw a lot of skill from Rashidi Ellis. Obviously the speed, the power, but like Dave was talking about as well, the discipline, even after scoring that knockdown.
I mean, just incredible display of athleticism, precision, and just the eyes. I mean, it's crazy to sit here ringside and to watch it in action. Giovanni's very good. Rashidi has a level of speed that is just, it's not human. And it's like you can kind of see Giovanni did look like he was starting to get mentally overwhelmed because he didn't know what to do with it. And it happens, it's why we train for all these different scenarios. But, it's like Ronald had to have gained some energy from that.
Amelia, what is the atmosphere in the Boston Corral? They beat Napoli's, is the league leader in points, and then Rashidi did his thing. How energized is that Boston Corral right now?
My goodness, Dave, they're going insane. I mean, we're number 1. You know Rashidi's number 1. And Alex and Andrew, Coach Alex and Andrew are just repeating that, and the team is, how can you not be energized? I mean, the whole crowd here loved that. I mean, crazy precision, crazy energy. It's you see these beautiful rounds. I mean, we even go back to Napoli's and Alexi Delacruz. This is the best of the best. It's fantastic.
Amelia, from a fighter's perspective, obviously you know what it takes to compete in one TBL round, and obviously there's longevity baked into the equation as well. But when we say there's a 30-win fighter in this league, what does that mean from a fellow fighter's perspective?
Sorry, Justin, can you just repeat that one more time?
This Rashidi Ellis picking up his 30th career TBL win. You fought in this league from a fighter's perspective. A number like that, number 30, what comes to mind when you think about what it takes to be successful in this league?
I mean, the consistency. We talked with Pat Sullivan earlier, and the consistency and to be able to be that, have longevity like that. I mean, you cannot take damage, and I think that's like he's a master of being able to hit and not get hit. To score points and get out of there. And we look at athletes like Shakur Stevenson on the biggest stage, and that's what creates longevity and consistency. Is what makes incredible athletes. And you can only do it once in a while. You're not going to be great. You can do it every single time and repeat, rinse, wash, rinse, repeat. That makes a fantastic, beautiful athlete, and then people start trying to model that.
Action winds down in the 7th between Ronald Ellis and Yusmel Ruiz.
Highlights from that round. There is Ruiz on the left of your screen. Good power shots here on Ellis. Standing back and then taking what is being given to him. And in that case, it was the right hook to the body. Looking for more and then head hunting, but always aware not to open himself up. And because of that quick instinct, he missed a right-hand bomb.
TBL fans, the winner of round 7 by way of unanimous decision. From the Miami Assassin, Yusmel Ruiz. The score is even at 4 apiece between Miami and Boston. Our final launch round will be in the heavyweight division. Boston, Michael Coffey. Miami, Nestor Santana.
Well, the launch rounds end with two big boys in the ring. The 6'5" Michael Coffey returning for the Boston Butchers. His first appearance this season. No stranger to Team Boxing League. And Miami's Nestor Santana, the 6'3" Cuban southpaw. Right away, Santana getting busy with both hands, and he's coming through on that guard, no problem, Dave.
Yeah, and that's one thing that we've noticed in his past fights. When he has not succeeded, it's been not being busy enough. Well, he's addressed that right away, and he's also brought Coffey up to another level.
And I think he woke Coffey up because Michael Coffey only threw a couple of punches to sort of slow Santana down. And now you see he's trying to fight off the back foot and go back to boxing with that jab.
Somebody tags you and the thought could be, oh, going fast? All right, I'll adjust to this. These guys are really getting their money's worth and pouring everything into the first minute.
Yeah, you got a mixed bag of everything right now. It's a melting pot of punches between Santana and Coffey. Only a minute gone by in this 8th round.
Well, their accuracy has been very good.
Well, the defense has been very poor.
Depending on how you want to look at that.
Well, one team is going to go into the middle rounds ahead with this head-to-head matchup. Tied at 4 right now. Big swing and a miss from Coffey. Santana has looked extra sharp with that jab. The accuracy going right through the guard of Coffey. These two have fought 2 prior times. They split the 2 rounds.
And they've stepped it up a level in this one for the first 2 minutes. they would each have to get the idea that this is up for grabs still. So the last minute, a good last minute is mandatory, and this is what you hope that they don't do much of, for tying up.
Yeah, the pace slowed down after the first electric 60 seconds. We'll see what the final 45 have in store here in round number 8 between Coffey and Santana. Big connect with that right hand by Nestor Santana.
And now with fatigue being a factor, and that can really multiply the effect of some of these punches on either side.
More accurate lands from Santana, even with his head down, as Coffey tries to counter. But Santana certainly finding more landing spots than Michael Coffey. And Coffey now coming alive. Good three-punch sequence there for Michael Coffey. They're banging away as round 8 comes to a conclusion.
You won't see two heavyweights give you that much over 3 minutes in one round too often. That was an excellent empty the gas tank performance by both of these fighters. Now they started out, all of a sudden the pace quickens right away, and you know, we saw them hit a wall at the 2-minute mark, maybe expending more energy, but back and forth, Santana and Coffey. Not an easy one for the judges.
The winner of round 8 by unanimous decision, from Miami, Nestor Santana. At the end of the launch rounds, Miami leads Boston 5-4. The middle rounds are...
So Miami gets the jump, as there are all kinds of big moments in the launch rounds. It's tight. Well, what's coming up on TBL? We've got a lot ahead, and Justin will tell us.
Thanks so much, Dave, and thanks for sticking with us here with TBL today. And here's how you can tell other fans where to catch other Team Boxing League events, because there's a few different places that we can be seen. You can now watch us on MSG Networks and the Gotham Sports app, as well as on our home network, Envoy Fast. Plus, the full season of Encores are on Envoy TV every day. Just download the Envoy app. Connected TV users with Samsung, Apple TV, Amazon Fire, Roku, and LG devices can download the TBL app and watch both live action and play previous matches on demand. TBL is also seen on YouTube, the TBL app, and in Spanish on the Estrella Network.
between Boston and Miami. The Assassins lead 5-4. Round 9 at featherweight for Boston, Carla Torres. Miami, Samantha Sosa.
There you see Carla Torres, featherweight in her first TBL season, 1-1 after debuting a couple of weeks ago. Faced 2 different opponents against New York City, and Samantha Sosa is 1-2 so far after she beat Alyssa Bolts a couple of weeks ago. Miami born and bred, 22 years of age.
See the height and reach for Torres, and see if she's able to use this here. Again, Sosa comes off a good performance.
See the age difference. You can visibly see the height difference. Carla Torres has about 3 inches on Samantha Sosa.
So she'll be trying to stick and move, utilize the jab, and as she went southpaw, she opened up that lead right hand for Sosa. And you see with the left hand, she was being tempted to take the chance, and she took it and scored. And that brought Torres back to being a righty.
There's another score. Connecting with that right hand is Sosa.
So Sosa has been opportunistic on a couple occasions here. And what you really do like is that she makes her move and gets into position right away.
Sosa, Miami, representing. Lived there her entire life on the Florida Golden Gloves as an amateur. She started boxing at age 18, so she's pretty new to the game. As Torres tries to answer back. A minute to go in the 9th round.
Well, they both got in a couple of good left hooks.
Oh, big right hand connecting from Sosa.
Just gorgeous setup for her to get that in.
Final 40 seconds. Can Carla Torres respond and leave an impression in the judges' eyes over the final 30 seconds? And Sosa now emerging with that combo. Torres tumbles to the floor. Not a knockdown. This is the lone round of the night for these 2 women.
And Sosa will at least leave with a good memory of that terrific right hand. And there's another one. And all of these happened in the final minute. And that figures to resonate with the judges.
So Samantha Sosa feeling pretty confident about her performance here against Carla Torres.
And here's one reason why. Set it up, boom. The right hand was there all night. She used it. Nailed Torres with right hand leads and with straight right hands. That was a gorgeous shot. Just terrific timing. So if the judges are looking at these replays, she's in good shape.
Round 9 by way of unanimous decision. From the Miami Assassin, Samantha Sosa. Miami leads Boston 6-4. Round 10 at lightweight. Boston, Hebrew Francois. Miami, Claudio Marrero.
So as we get to round 10, Dave, Claudio Marrero, a decorated boxer, both in the traditional and TBL sense, against Hebrew Francois. where you have an experienced opponent against someone a little bit more inexperienced within this league's format. This is a pivotal point in this head-to-head matchup because after the Rashidi Ellis knockdown that scored Boston 2 points, Miami's gone on to win 3 straight rounds. That Sosa win was pretty important. And now you have Marrero, who is very experienced. He knows how to win in this concept.
Yeah, and he's been a big moment fighter for Miami, dropping Desmond Lyons in a fight that his team ultimately won, but it was a money rounds drop that impacted the way everything happened after that. Francois had went against Quintero against Phoenix in the last matchup there, and Quintero got the victory for Phoenix. But, you know, you get into enough of these big fight situations, and then you won't be a rookie anymore.
You're just looking up and down the bout sheet. Marrero now. For Boston, you have Camila Pinata in the on-deck circle against the inexperienced Sofia Veretti. Pinata, one of the better super lightweights in the league, so the chalk would favor Pinata. This is a point where Boston could make a move to try and stay in this head-to-head bout.
Stay in and then see who might get a bonus point for you.
They need a pick-me-up here from Francois. And it can happen. Marrero has not been as sparkling to start 2026. He's 2-4 so far to start this season after dropping only 2 rounds all of 2025.
We're talking about dropping rounds and not dropping fights, so if you're on your game for 1 3-minute period, you can come away with a victory for your team. You have some cut blood. Take a closer look at that. It's a scrape on the side of the face, but in any case,
a little over a minute to go.
Hasn't deterred anybody. And to the point you were making, it's been an inspired effort here in an attempt by Francois to help Boston steal a point. There's been more urgency from him than Marrero. But Marrero has been a sharpshooter when he gets his chances.
Again, it feels like Boston needs to score an upset in a particular round to keep the pace here with Miami tonight. This is a prime round to watch.
We saw it back in the launch rounds with the defeat of Napoli's, so that was a turnaround spot for Boston, and you know, who can give them one more? Almost gave them 2 more with that right hand. Almost put Marrero down.
That's the mark of a good team in Miami. Napolis losing his round. Rashidi Ellis scoring 2 points and dropping Estella, and yet it's Miami right now ahead by 2. They could very well be ahead by 3 in a matter of moments.
We talked about at the top 13 fighters with winning records on this team. That's almost an entire team to field. So talent level has been there up and down.
Team Boxing League fans, the winner of round 10 by way of split decision from the Boston Butchers, Hebrew Francois.
There you go. There's your turnaround.
The score, Miami is 6, Boston 5.
Now you've got Pinata.
Round 11
You're right
at
there.
super lightweight for Boston, Camila Pinata. Miami, Sofia Veretti.
And that's why that victory for Francois was so important. Here you have Camila Pinata, who has won 8 of the last 10 rounds she's had in Team Boxing League, going up against a fighter who is 0-6 in her first taste of the league in 2026. They have a chance to at least tie if Pinata comes out on top. So with that, Boston wouldn't be going away here against the undefeated team within Team Boxing League. And Amelia, I'm dying to know, as a fighter, are all these thoughts going through a fighter's head when they're sitting on the bench thinking about the things that David and I are discussing here between strategy and unsung heroes within this bout sheet?
I mean, you have to give. I mean, you have to focus on what you have at hand, right? And I would say the experience level is you can only do what's in your hand. So I hope not. I hope they're not on a runaway train. But you know, there's times where the demons get the best of you and your mind is very, very loud. So to answer that question, Justin.
We get the luxury of scoreboard watching and projections because we're not up next.
We have pens in our hands, not gloves.
Yeah, but we've been scoring at will. Now, what about this matchup here about the Panatta going after a winless opponent? And what about Panatta's experience coming into TBL? I mean, we talk about the very good performance against Dubois, which he gave a lot to one of the top professionals in the sport. What about that experience differential here?
You know, I would say that we as fighters, the more experienced we are, there's a tendency that when you fight somebody who has less experience, it can be a little wild and unpredictable. We want to fight people that have that traditional style. It's almost like we kind of can anticipate. It's hard when you get somebody that's unpredictable, right? But you have to be able to find those moments in between to be able to capitalize on it. So, I mean, Veretti, definitely. I mean, we're looking at her. She seems resilient. She seems game. And Camila does have a lot of experience. We have to pull that out.
Camila looking like she's willing to stand in the pocket to get some of those counters off that she has. She's fighting here at super lightweight. She's going to go back down to 130 pounds at the end of the month in a traditional bout against another successful woman in Miranda Reyes. But here in Team Boxing League, she's found a lot of success, especially as of late. Came into the league in the middle of last season, fought Shaquilla Ellis a whole bunch, but she's built up a 10-7 TBL record, and again has won 8 of the last 10 rounds.
Well, if nothing else, Veretti has made a bid. She's put herself in position to be competitive here. She would like to be a little closer with these shots, get them off, and there was a good one that got in. And she's got some skills to work with. One of the better efforts we've seen from Veretti. Put herself in position where she thinks she'll get this.
Certainly made it tough on the judges.
Yeah, she did good work over the top here by Veretti. Some height and reach. Well, how do you use it? That's one way. Good right hand there. And then she cut off the ring pretty nicely and went for more. There were moments for Veretti. Did the judges believe she had enough of them?
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of round 11 by way of unanimous decision from the Miami Assassins,
how about that?
Veretti.
Miami now turns it around with the unexpected.
Round 12 at welterweight, Boston, Kino Luna. Miami, Darius Jackson.
So this has become a fun back and forth head-to-head tilt between Miami and Boston. Right there, Boston had a chance to try and at least tie it. Maybe an opportunity lost for Camila Panatta. She'll have a chance to redeem herself against Sofia later on. They're going to meet back up in round 21. And like you said, Miami provides an answer.
Yeah, they did. That was a great performance by Sofia Veretti, and undaunted by being winless up till now. That's one of the great things in this league. One of my favorites is Roger Hilly, who had a bad start last year, and on one night he can come up with 2 victories. And you always have another opportunity to start fresh. And Sofia Veretti, give her a lot of credit right now.
She did enough right there to earn her first TBL win. Congratulations to her. Kino Luna, Darius Jackson go again. Two fighters in their early 20s. Jackson, 22-year-old welterweight. Luna's 24 out of Worcester, Mass. One prior meeting between Jackson and Luna. That was June of 2024. A unanimous decision win for Luna.
Well, who's going to gamble first here? We've got the dueling lefties. We've got the height and reach for Jackson. Some of the tricks you enjoy as a lefty get taken away when you face another lefty, so somebody will adjust.
Right hand from Luna falling away. And Jackson continuing to come forward. Gets in a left hook of his own, and then a good two-punch combo for Darius Jackson. He is on the hunt with a minute 20 to go in the 12th round.
Instinctive sense by Jackson of when he had to turn up the heat. He saw an opportunity, closed distance, and then tried to get his hands off first.
Start up with that double jab. We've seen it a couple of times from Darius Jackson.
Set up quick. Set up.
And again, another example of a fighter jumping in off the verbal decision to break and, you know, taking advantage of what's in the rules. That was Jackson.
Final 10 seconds. It's been a good round for Darius Jackson. And he unloads with a right, then a left. Throwing hooks at warp speed. Whatever lands. Jackson's going to continue to throw. And we'll see if the 22-year-old comes out on top of the 12th round.
Some good moments by Jackson. Double jab. Good right hand got in. And a definitive moment for him. Luna forcing a slugfest on the inside. They both let out the gas tank, sprinting to the wire. And congratulating each other for that effort.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of round 12 by way of unanimous decision. From Miami, Darius Jackson. The score, Miami 8, Boston 5. We'd like to thank our fine sponsors, Climax Moonshine, buyer number.
Well, Miami continues to creep away. Right now, built up a 3-point lead. They're up 8-5 through 12 rounds. Sun setting in South Florida, and Miami trying to pull away from Boston here in the middle rounds. Let's go back inside to Ray Flores for round 13.
Round of 13, Boston at super welterweight, Jaye Brown. Miami, Yoelis Molina.
So buckle up. This one could be interesting here, folks, because it's a rematch already of a prior round tonight, the 5th round. And Molina won it over Jaye Brown by unanimous decision. Had a little showmanship at the very end. And Jaye Brown had darts going through Molina, waiting for this moment. So here we go.
Well, he had the sleep posture, and he started doing the talking to him after, and then the countdown began for the rematch.
Well, Amelia, as Jaye Brown's teammate at one point, what do you think triggers him? Is showmanship something that would do the trick?
I mean, he's very competitive. He likes to be the one that's having the dominant performance. So the more you give him, the more he's going to be trying to fire back. It's like, it's just more fuel to fire, you know, press the pedal.
What about the adjustments you would look forward to seeing here? Molina boxed smartly in the first fight, and Brown has been used to winning. What do you think he does differently here?
So, you know, even just from the corner, it's like I heard them talking to him how to make the adjustment for this round. It's like you have to keep with that jab moving around, and keeping that tempo high. You know, it's these moments where you stand in front, you're posing, you're giving your opponent the time to set up and get ready to do whatever they want. You know, it's if you don't keep their mind busy, they can be in the driver's seat.
Well, looks like Brown has taken that to heart, certain sequences here with the jab, and meantime Molina is trying to set up a left-hand shot to time it behind that jab.
Tried to fire out of the clinch. He smiled there. Yeah, shoot your shot, right?
But you get that left hand cocked, you can't wait. You know you have to set it up, but you see it, and then you hope that your distance is right.
That's what this is right now. It's a battle of distance.
And Molina on the outside. If you want to get your big bomb in, Amelia, he's got to be closer.
Yeah, you know, I was just going to say the same thing, right? Like the two of them, it's like it looks like they're just 2 inches off from landing anything, and they're holding the same distance.
Well, Molina landed a left hand that backed Brown up. I don't know if the impact was what had him backpedaling, or maybe it was just his feet getting tangled with one another, and they fight on.
Molina acted, though, like it did land. And, you know, I think it's something, even if you think it lands, Amelia, it might just push you to another level. And we have seen since then that Molina is getting closer here, distance-wise.
He's done. Yeah, he's edging in, and that's it. It becomes that the battle of control.
Here's the left hand, not a knockdown as Molina falls.
Very key non-call there, because keeps it where it is.
Molina says easy work with a smile. Let's go back and look at the action here, Dave.
Yeah, the double jab. They get tangled up here. No knockdown. He did a lot of good work, did Molina, from in close after landing a big shot earlier. Now he's motivated, and he fought the rest of the fight as if he had the idea that Brown was hurt. They might still keep drawing at each other after this is over.
Team Boxing League fans, the winner of round 13 by way of unanimous decision. From Miami, Yoelis Molina.
How about the emotion from Yoelis Molina? And those two won a third round. Molina says, nah, my night's done. I got 2 in the bank.
I'm just going to go watch the replay, pal. Yeah, they have been talking it up, and I figured they would keep it going after round 2, and they did.
Round 14 at light heavyweight, Boston, Steven Sumter. Miami, Isaac Carbonell.
So here we go with round 14, and Miami is ahead by 4 now. Sumter and Carbonell getting into the ring. And Dave, you and I were discussing it earlier here in the middle rounds. There's a turning point within the score, within the head-to-head score. And a big reason why was because Samantha Sosa started off the middle rounds with a victory and continued the trend as Miami at that point won 3 in a row after the Rashidi Ellis extra point round. So big win there for Sosa in her only round of the night, and she's standing by with Amelia.
So Sammy Sosa is going to help me translate for Sophia Veretti. So Sophia, a lot of the fans are just now kind of getting introduced to you. Can you just give us a little bit about your combat background and what brought you to Team Boxing League?
Dice que ahora mismo los fanáticos se están introduciendo en quién tú eres, que dar un poquito de información de cómo llegaste al deporte y qué te trajo a la liga.
Yo soy Sofía de Argentina, vine a progresar en mi carrera de deportes de combate acá y yo tengo experiencia en MMA y en kickboxing. Esta es mi primera experiencia en boxeo, así que estoy contenta, emocionada y con ganas de seguir aprendiendo.
She said her name is Sofia Veretti, that she came from Argentina to pursue her dreams, that she has experience in kickboxing and MMA, and this is her first experience with boxing, and it's a good experience because she's going with top-level athletes that will help her in her boxing career from now on.
And I was just going to ask you that all of your Team Boxing League matchups so far have been, the athletes have been very high-level experience, like Camila Panada, world title contender. How do you feel like that's helped accelerate your growth in the sport?
Dice que todas las personas que te han machado son atletas de alto rendimiento, que cómo te sientes que te ha acelerado tu carrera.
Sí, es cierto, lo sentí, he entrenado mucho en muchos lugares, incluso con hombres, y esta experiencia fue distinta. Las chicas son duras, pero bueno, estoy preparada y si no, quiero aprender a estar a la altura, así que acá estamos para seguir adelante.
She said basically that she's very excited to compete with these high-level athletes because she knows that it's what it takes to get her to that same level.
Wonderful, excellent win tonight in your first win in the season. Congratulations, many more to come for you.
Thank you so much.
Gracias. Justin, take us back in the ring, please.
Thanks, Amelia. I'll tell you what, those two women at this moment arguably have 2 of the most important wins of the night, Dave.
Yes, and illustrating the depth of Miami, because it's not their big-name fighters who came in here. And this shows, okay, Sosa and Veretti turning it around, at least keeping Boston at bay, and they have set up a big run. I think the Veretti win is ultra significant, going against a world-class fighter in Camila Panada, and basically, you know, the spirit of TBL. You get a new start each week. So yes, those two have been very big for Miami, and even more impressive for their team.
And again, at that point, just to recap quickly, after round 10, Miami had a 6-5 lead. If Panada, who's the chalk pick there, wins that round, we're tied after 11 rounds. Instead, Miami has gone on to win 4 of the first 5 rounds here in the middle stage, and they have built up a 4-point lead. And we'll see what the judges say about this round between Sumter and Carbonell. So you're talking about one team trying to stay with an undefeated team. Yeah, we know who's the favorite, who isn't. But right there, that was Boston's chance. And as we take a look at the action here from round number 14.
Yeah, and here's the movement by Carbonell. You know, we talk about Francois giving the opportunity for Boston to be right there, and the Rashidi knockdown, and the victory over Napoli's, all those things. Boston has had many turning points, but now Miami is on the verge of turning them away.
Team Boxing League fans, the winner of round 14 by way of split decision from the Miami Assassins, Isaac Carbonell. The score, Miami 10, Boston 5. Round 15 at cruiserweight, Boston, Miguel Teo. Miami, Yuneski Gonzalez.
Well, this was our round to watch in the middle rounds, and Miami is up by 5. If we have a repeat of what happened on June 20th of last year, well, they would be up by 9 because Unieski Gonzalez, who you see on your screen, stopped Miguel Teo. We have not seen Teo since he returns to action in Team Boxing League tonight.
Okay, you want to get over your demons, go face it right away.
And he is coming out throwing. All right, Miguel Teo off to a roaring start.
And Gonzalez willing to engage him. And there's a lot of adrenaline that goes into this. I mean, part of it you can look at it and think it's strategy, but he's just throwing caution to the wind and wanting to get everything home. Like he wants to unload everything like what he's been thinking about for the last few months on this.
Nope, this is sustainable, or he's not punching himself out here. Unieski drops to the ropes, but that is not a knockdown.
So we'll see about the pacing for Teo now after 50 seconds of pure heart. He eats a right hand from Gonzalez.
Landing some punches here. Yeah. Good two-punch combo. Had a chip-chop left hook prior to that.
There is opportunity for both of these fighters to put the other guy down. This is a wide-open, stylistic, pleasing type of a war.
There's another left counter from Miguel Teo. Might have wobbled Unieski Gonzalez a little bit.
Right now, this has been jab optional. They're loading up with big shots. That was a good one there.
Gonzalez coming back with a good sequence. Unieski Gonzalez 3-2 to open up the 2026 season. Teo, before being stopped by Gonzalez last year, he had to go through the likes of Gonzalez and Charles Pugh, Jesse Hart, USS Cunningham, so some really heavy hitters within the league.
Yeah, there's a lot for Teo if he were to get this call. Like what that means for the next month to 2 months of his training. What that means for his confidence if he's able to get this off of his back. Now, it will be a launch point for him if he's able to do that. Now, the first minute was very good for him. This third minute has been good for Gonzalez. You take your choice about the middle minute.
Good moving out from Teo, though he was out of position right there. So again, both fighters having their moments within the last 30 seconds of round 15. Big overhand attempt from Gonzalez.
Well, however it ends, Teo has gotten rid of a bad memory. He came out and fought well, and he came out like gangbusters in this fight. And this was overdue. This guy just knocked you out. No caution, go right after it. And he did so fairly smartly because he's attacking and then backing up here. That's important there that no knockdowns called. It's a slip. He went back, maybe hopeful that he got a call there, but
you saw the Riveras in the butcher's corner. Let's get the ruling.
By way of unanimous decision from the Boston Butchers.
How about that?
Teo. As we enter the final middle round, the score: Miami 10, Boston 6.
That's good for his development
Our
all the way down the
final
line.
middle round will be in the heavyweight division. Boston, Skylar Lacey. Miami, Alonzo Neal.
Now, if you are Alex and Andrew Rivera, the Butcher coaches who we saw in the corner contesting that was a knockdown in the replay, you're telling your fighter, Miguel Teo, hey, now do it again, because he's in line to face Gonzalez in round 24.
They might even be telling him he was down. They just took it from you. Fill him up with that idea if he can harness his energy.
So Boston gets a round back, now trailing by 4, and here's Skylar Lacey going up against Alonzo Neal. Lacey, one of the most decorated heavyweights in the short history of Team Boxing League. 3-1 record so far this year, 26-8 all-time in TBL.
And we saw a big part of that surge last year. After losses to Conjun Nathan of Philadelphia, he went on to win 13 in a row. And he was one of those fighters that, when he and Ellis would have good nights, they would carry the Boston team. He then split with Dusan Veletich of New York, a very good fighter to start this year. So he's become one of the most popular fighters in the league.
He landed a couple of solid punches a few moments ago. And there's a side-swiping left hand from Lacey. He gets in, moves out, has some really nice movement for a heavyweight. Stay just a step ahead of most of his opponents here in this league.
And that's why that string of victories and decisions, this is a decision-earning type of style, unless something else opens up. But you are saying, I'm willing to hustle, work for this point.
Question here is, after a little over 90 seconds into this round, has Skylar Lacey seen enough from the opponent in front of him to think maybe I can get some extra points out of this?
Sure, because you are looking at 10-7 if he's able to get a decision, and you get a knockdown point, all of a sudden you brought your team right to the verge of getting back to a tie. So it's what you see.
Skylar Lacey, certainly a fighter that the Riveras and the Boston Butchers are looking to get them back into this fight. Now down by 4, 10-6 against Miami.
And 4 is sort of magical territory because that is the range that you could make up with a knockout. That has been one of the issues that this team has faced over the last couple of years, is the lack of knockout power.
Another quality combo from Lacey a few moments ago. He's going to have a very quick turnaround. He'll be back in round 19 when we get to the money rounds. But a tagging clinic for Skylar Lacey.
Well, he did at least what they wanted him to do for bringing his team back. Okay, Boston was down 5, and here it looks like they should get this and be down 3. Good jab here by Lacey. The movement. Look at how he shuffles and makes you reload. Very good footwork for a big fighter.
Team Boxing League fans, the winner of round 16 by way of split decision. From the Miami Assassins, Alonzo Neal.
That's a tough call on Boston.
At the end of the middle rounds, Miami leads Boston 11-6. The money rounds are on the way.
All right, so big movements by Miami. Samantha Sosa, Veretti, a string of fighters, and they get the last one. So we're coming to the 2/3 part of this. What's on tap for next week? Justin has the answer.
Dave, thanks so much. Still plenty to do here tonight between Boston and Miami, and there's a whole lot of action awaiting the Week 7 finale on Sunday. TBL travels north to Atlanta, Georgia for an East Coast showdown of undefeateds as Stacia Settles and the Philadelphia Smoke look to continue their league dominance, taking on the Atlanta Attack. Then we look ahead to Week 8. May 15th, TBL traveled to the Lone Star State as the Dallas Enforcers meet up with the San Antonio Snipers. May 16th, the Las Vegas Hustle travel to Philadelphia to take on Lasha Gergliani and the New York City Attitude. And we cap off the weekend with a battle of the current undefeateds as Stacia Settles and the Philadelphia Smoke take on Victor Abreu and the Miami Assassins. 24 3-minute rounds await you all weekend long, only on Team Boxing League. TBL winding down on a Saturday night in Miami. The money rounds are ahead. 8 more rounds to go, and Miami has built himself a 5-point lead. They're up 11-6 at the moment, trying to get to 4-0 as we welcome you back inside our studios. Justin and Dave with you. And I tell you what, there have been openings for Boston to make this interesting against this unbeaten Miami team. They haven't blown through the doors.
No, they've had opportunities. Francois gave them a chance. Rashidi Ellis gave them a chance. They're resilient. They're hanging around. But Miami's showing the strength of their team, not necessarily being with the bigger names.
Let's take a look at some of the action from the middle rounds as we look at round number 12. And this was Kino Luna, Darius Jackson going at it, a pair of impressive fighters in their early 20s. Darius Jackson showing why he's just a level above Luna.
Yeah, and coming at a key point for Miami as this was in the beginning of their definitive stage that helped pave this lead for them. See the good right hands and power coming and getting a victory. And the celebration. And in round 15, this is where the streak ended. And this is where one of the demons was exercised as really an excellent win for Boston and their fighter who had been stopped last time. But Miguel Teo earning this with terrific intensity, adrenaline, good jab, fought with intelligence and heart, and did not have one replace the other. This is a terrific victory for him after being stopped about a year ago. This is really big for his development.
Now he's going to have to try and do it again because he's slated to go up against Gonzalez in round 24. But Miami takes 6 of the 8 rounds in the middle round portion. A lot of it deserved, a lot of well-earned, a lot of close decisions scored one way over the other here. And that included earlier in the night Yosneli Napolis taking a defeat against Hebrew Francois, and Francois has a chance now to go 2-0 in our round to watch here in the money rounds.
That's right. He put them in position to do well, so now he's got to go in and try and get it done a second time. This has been an evening of surprises and maybe some handicapping shifts as you looked in and say, well, maybe this will happen. There have been some good upsets tonight, up and down on both sides.
Well, we saw what Darius Jackson was able to do earlier in the middle rounds. He is up first as we start the money rounds. Let's go back inside the ring with Ray Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to begin the money rounds between the Boston Butchers and Miami Assassins. Round 17 at welterweight, Boston, Javon Bess. Miami, Darius Jackson.
Javon Bess, who's making his TBL debut tonight, in action against a different opponent. He fell to Estieri Suero back in round 4. And Darius Jackson trying to go to 2-0 here on the evening for Miami. Entered tonight 3-0 on the season, one of 2 teams in the league still undefeated in 2026. And they had scored a whole lot of points entering tonight.
Yeah, as you take a look at those graphics and the 4 points for the knockout, remember the point you made earlier about Miami being the only team with 20 points every time. So Boston has held that down, done a good job there with our final 8 fights to go. And now Boston is looking for a spark, but the matchup edge, you'd have to lean Miami over these money rounds.
Yeah, they have, at the end of the day, simply outboxed the opponent in front of them. That opponent tonight, the Boston Butchers. Nothing special, no extra points at this point. But there you see, in the driver's seat, Boston's last lead was in round 6.
Yeah, and Miami has been a good finishing team. We saw it in the put away against Atlanta the first time. We saw it put away the second time. Nice big win over Dallas. So this is a team that believes in itself and has the aptitude to finish strong.
A 21-year-old welterweight out of South Florida, competing for Boston, so he hasn't had to travel far. If you sleep in your own bed in scenarios like this. 5'11" welterweight. Completed his first 8-round fight about a month ago in traditional boxing, where he has an 8-0 record. Gets in a good right-handed swing on Jackson.
Jackson trying to be workmanlike as he was in his first fight tonight. Get the jab out, take what's there, look to set up something, and if not, be content. But he's eaten a few right hands, too, from Bess.
Jackson launching a left uppercut. 20 seconds to go in the 17th round. And a right hand landed by Bess. They have caught the attention of Jackson. Bess has made this tougher for Jackson, but Jackson launching a big left hand. I think he thought his opponent was going to go down. Gets it another left hook at the bell. So impressive punches at the end there by Darius Jackson. You know what? That's a tag team right there that will probably call one another for some good sparring sessions.
Yes, they will, because also at the end, see how they were celebratory with each other? And Jackson's doing, it's a performance dance because there has been no call yet. Nails him right there. I'm ready to celebrate the knockdown. It's not there. I still come after him.
I think Bess gained Jackson's respect by not going down in that punch.
He did. He did. Because he had tried to pot shot him with individual right hands. And then also the move, I'm pretending to look at the corner coming after you.
17 by way of unanimous decision. From Miami, Darius Jackson. The score, Miami 12, Boston 6. Round 18 at lightweight, Boston, Alexi de la Cruz. Miami, Claudio Marrero.
So De La Cruz enters the ring for a second time tonight. He was the one who picked off Yosdale Napoles, handed Napoles his first loss of the season. And for Marrero, this is a chance to get in the win column tonight. He lost to Hebrew Francois, and yet Miami hasn't skipped a beat.
And that's the mark of an excellent team. They pick up their fighters. You can be somebody who is winless, and you're with a very good team, and the team waits for you to develop, and then you can have some big nights and contribute.
With Boston down by 6, Amelia standing by with one of the better fighters out of the New England region over the last decade. Amelia?
So I'm sitting here with the man himself, the technician, Jermaine Ortiz. So we got to see you this morning. Well, I got to hang out with the Xander Zayas. Oh my God, Xander Zayas' camp this morning. We ran some hill sprints. And what brings you down to Florida right now?
Oh man, just the weather, getting out of the north, Massachusetts in the cold, coming down here, just training with the team, you know, preparing myself for whatever comes my way, and just staying fight ready so I don't gotta get ready.
Just getting back in the environment, back into the Wolf's Den again.
Yeah, just being around other people who are sharp, who are also preparing for their fights. You know, there's Xander, Charlie, and Allen all preparing for a fight. So just being around other fighters to stay sharp is going to keep me sharp as well until something comes along.
Yeah, it's such a good pack to be around. So you're here tonight. What brought you into TBL?
Man, I got my promoter Jimmy Birchfield and the Boston Butcher, so I had to come and support my team. You know, I'm from Massachusetts, and it's my first time actually coming to a Team Combat League fight, and I love it.
That's so crazy to me. I mean, we were talking a little bit earlier, and I was like, how did you never catch a show at the Royale out in Boston? But I'm stoked to hear that you're enjoying it, and you're enjoying the action, and Mr. Birchfield is sitting here ringside with you.
Yeah, no, it's great. I love it. It's just action-packed, and now I get to see the hype behind it. You know, I've always seen little clips, but seeing this in action first time is definitely a great thing that's going on.
Appreciate you, man. And thanks for sitting ringside and giving us a little insight into what's going on in your world.
No problem. Thank you.
Back in the ring with us. Thanks, Justin.
Thank you, Amelia. Under a minute to go between Marrero and De La Cruz, with Miami up 12-6.
I'll vouch for the first thing he said. Getting away from the Northeast and the cold in May. You don't think you have to do it in May, but this year it's a good idea.
One of the bigger upsets of the year. And seasonably chilly spring. Boston came down south trying to pull off an upset tonight here against Miami, and they are in a 6-point deficit at the moment as we approach the end of round 18.
De La Cruz trying to stick and move, and Marrero trying to hunt him down for that big left hand that almost got in twice. But he's got that in his head.
De La Cruz be on the way to a 2-round win night. We shall see.
See some highlights from there. The right hook and closing distance here. It's open for a left hand. He tries. Doesn't get inside. But he's got it lined up.
TBL fans, the winner of round 18 by way of split decision. From Boston, Alexia de la Cruz. The score, Miami 12, Boston 7. Round 19 in the heavyweight division, For the Boston Butchers, Skylar Lacey. The Miami Assassins, Nestor Santana.
Well, it's a quick turnaround for Skylar Lacey here, and Nestor Santana is coming back in after a great launch round performance over Michael Coffey. So this is a matchup of contrasting styles. I am eager to see which one emerges.
Yes, yeah, with Lacey being the mover, and Santana stalking and being in front of you. Also, maybe Lacey will be encouraged to press more, because that was a tough decision that he lost. He boxed beautifully, and when you don't get the call, the takeaway you're probably going to have is, I can't fight that way. I need to fight a different way and maybe go straight to this guy. So I think it's a stylistic change in Lacey brought on by that call.
Miami now in front 12-7 in the overall score, trying to move to 4-0 with a win here at home in South Florida. Good scoring shot with the right hand to the body by Skylar Lacey. Santana opting to go with the low guard at the moment.
And this is a different Lacey in this fight, adjusting to what he believes the judges will like and favor here. He shows a little bit more power in doing it this way.
We're more than halfway through the round here, Dave, and obviously not seeing the same approach from Santana as we did with Coffey. That was expected, but Lacey's going to be in the driver's seat here if he just keeps doing what he's doing.
Yeah, he will be, but he will also be paranoid that I do enough. Yeah, not much coming back at him. He's had some chances here with some good straight, hard rights from in close. Even got away with rubbing his glove in the face of Santana because he shielded the referee. That's a veteran move.
Santana trying to swing out of the clinch. No shots landing from Skylar Lacey.
Now this is a little bit of the bicycle move that he had in the first fight, but he may be under the idea that he's got a good lead here, and he also didn't stay with that. He bicycled it and then took a hard right and then went right at Santana.
The jab is the difference here in the 19th between Lacey and Santana. Lacey has it. Santana doesn't.
And also Lacey making the good move, a veteran, to change his tactics and come straight at Santana. That's someone who didn't brood over a loss. He changed, and he tried to offer the judges something different in this one.
TBL fans, the winner of round 19 by way of unanimous decision from the Boston Butchers, Skylar Lacey. The score, Miami 12, Boston 8. Round 20 at lightweight, Boston, Hebrew Francois. Miami, Yostiela Napoles.
Well, as we've reached the 20th round, Boston has won 2 consecutive rounds. It is now a 4-point swing and you have two fighters entering the ring, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but one punch can easily affect the entire complexion of this event.
One punch, if it comes from Boston, could make everything else make us start even.
So we start the night throwing a lot of flowers at Yostiel Napoles, rightfully so. But here we are talking about how Francois can change this night, kind of turn it upside down if he's able to land that magic punch on Napoles.
But he would have to do it against a guy who has a lot of power himself. So on the other side of that, you could have Miami. Train can leave the station.
Amelia, I know we were talking about breaking down strategy round by round. Dave and I were, again, we're the ones holding the pens. We don't have the gloves on the hammer. When you see a 4-point margin right now as Napoles had Francois out of position, if you're a fighter on that bench, what do you think is going through their minds?
I mean, that pressure to try to make up that point differential is definitely sitting on your mind. You know, we really are tight-knit, the athletes on the bench. But again, handling the pressure in a way where you're still being smart and sharp. You know, at this point, it's like, yeah, you need the points, but you also don't need to make mistakes and create a greater spread.
What about on the other end? I am curious about that. What about if you're the other fighter on the winning team? Is it a lot of, hey, I don't want to drop the ball? Is that the mentality?
I mean, I'm sure, but sometimes it's like the momentum is just rolling, that it's just not even a thought. Got some theatrics happening over here.
That's a 135-pound deadlift by Yostiel Napoles. Good job.
If you get points for that. And this is a guy who is also bouncing back off of a tough decision loss, and he's been at the top of the leaderboard. Amelia, what about for him the revenge motif on this night? He came in here as the leading point scorer in the league and then lost an earlier decision.
You know, I mean, can you be upset with yourself over that loss, though? That round 3 with Alexi Dela Cruz was just, I mean, that was fireworks. It was just such high-level exchanges between the two. I mean, they didn't stop for a second. So, yes, he lost, and I think it was coming into it, it's like looking at the leaderboards. You're like, man, everyone anticipates on paper that he's going to win, but then we get this outstanding performance. I don't know if you can be upset with yourself.
No, I'm not talking about being upset with yourself. I'm talking about being motivated now to even it and not sit on the team lead. You know, you're up by 4, but you want to get out of here yourself with a split.
100%. No, I couldn't agree more, Dave. But yeah, I mean, also, did we lose all the gas tank from that one match?
Well, Napoles has landed several impressive right hands. Had another left to the body that landed moments ago as well. He feels like he's in full control. Made Francois miss a bunch. Felt comfortable enough as the referee gets in the middle of the two men. So Napoles thinks he has redemption after falling earlier in the night to Alexi Dela Cruz.
He's putting on a show one way or another. And he came in, good shots here. Fighting with the glove up against the ropes. Almost a knockdown there. And then there was a good clubbing right and a nice left hook.
TBL fans, the winner of round 20 by way of unanimous decision from Miami, Yostiel Napoles.
Napoles evens his night, splits the 2 rounds, giving Miami a 5-point lead with 4 more rounds to go. Will the undefeated Assassins hold on and move to 4-0? Stay with us. A Saturday night on Ocean Ave, Miami, trying to give reason to celebrate. They have 4 more rounds to wrap up another victory. Right now leading 13-8 over the Boston Butchers. We're ready for round 21 here in the money rounds. Let's go back to Ray Flores.
Round 21 at super lightweight. Boston, Camila Panetta. Miami, Sofia Verenti.
So a rematch between Panetta and Vereti from round 11. Vereti pulling out the upset, getting her first TBL win. She'll try and sweep over Panetta tonight. That would be a very nice night for Sofia Vereti.
Puts her in the top 3 guaranteed if she gets that.
There's a lot of fighters that are gunning for those honors.
Amelia, what do you think of the, I guess, the fact that Vereti, the human interest story, will be following that with her and talk more? Because Vereti, coming from winless and then knocking off one of the top fighters who had just been in with an excellent champion in Caroline Dubois.
She's had very tough opponents. We saw Ariel Davis, I believe, 2 times. She was in there with Stacia Suttles. And it's just something like, and now Camila Panetta, that's tough. That's tough opponents to be walking in with not a ton of experience. When we talk about experience, it's like athletes that have been all around the world with, their respective governing bodies, for their countries. So, the big thing here is how is Panetta gonna make the adjustment? You cannot stand in front of Vereti. She's very game ready. She's throwing punches. She's coming very much so forward. And if you don't work around using your jab and get off the line, she's gonna catch you.
Yeah, Vereti, Amelia, faced Ariel Davis 4 times and Brianna Carrera twice as well. Now she's with Panetta. I wanted to get your thoughts because we know what's happening tomorrow night. Stacia Suttles, Ariel Davis, arguably the best round for pound round to make in Team Boxing League, and it's happening at this weight division. How would you sum up the super lightweight division for the women in Team Boxing League?
Vereti has had the opportunity to kind of taste all of it, right? She had 4, like you said, 4 rounds with Ariel Davis, and that's for athletes that her and Stacia Suttles, they don't lose, and that's going to be the cream of the crop of the 140 division for Team Boxing League right now. And gosh, everyone is anticipating the fight tomorrow. I jokingly said, ladies, tomorrow's your night. We just have to call it Atlanta versus Philly. It's really the Davis versus Suttles show.
Yeah, they'll be in for 2 rounds. And they are at the top. What I think is a pretty top-heavy 140-pound division, because you have Suttles, you have Davis, Latia Williams there. You have Camila Panetta right there. And then there is a drop-off as Panetta gets in a quick uppercut on Vereti. There's a chance for the other fighters in the league to move up and make a name for themselves. But they have to obviously slay the queens, if you will, at 140 pounds at the top.
Yeah, they really will. And Amelia, what was the reaction on the bench for Boston with Vereti delivering that victory, which was her first and very crucial to them at that time of the match?
Yeah, it wasn't well received. They were really anticipating that Camila was going to sweep the competition within that round.
And here is Vereti trying to make it a double, using height and reach effectively against Camila Panetta. This was an effective use of height and reach throughout the night by Sofia Vereti. And, really have to love the fact that never discouraged by what had happened before now.
Team Boxing League fans, the winner of round 21 by way of unanimous decision. From the Miami Assassin, Sofia Vereti. The score, Miami 14, Boston 8.
2 big wins for Sofia Vereti tonight.
Round 22 in the super middleweight division. For the Boston Butchers, Ronald Ellis, Miami Assassins, Yusmel Ruiz.
Well, just going back to that 21st round, Sofia Veretti made life very difficult for Camila Pennada tonight. If we're going to lock anyone into Fight of the Night honors right now, I think it's her.
Well, I told you, she's making the honor roll if she wins twice. Said that before the fight started, and I believe it because, and I love the human element of it. When you just shrug off what happened and then you take on a fighter with the credentials that Pennada has, as you look at some Ruiz stats, that you get 2 wins for your team and you have a night. Her style was there and her execution was there, so Veretti was excellent tonight.
Two veterans in Ruiz and Ellis. Ruiz defeated Ellis earlier. Right hand landed by Ronald Ellis. Rashidi will be on deck in round 23. And Shaquille Ellis will be in action tomorrow as Philadelphia and Atlanta go at it in Georgia.
If you're Miami, this is exactly how you want it to be. Like if you're going against a big home run hitter, you hope that there's nobody on base. And in this case, when you're facing Rashidi Ellis, you hope there's a big lead with 2 rounds to go.
And right now the lead is 6 for Miami. A few rounds away from improving to 4-0, barring something unbelievable happening here for Boston. Good left hook counter from Yusmel Ruiz, 27-year-old Cuban.
Nice stiff jab there, very schooled. A little bit more scientific and cautious as Ruiz is looking for the jab to get in and then try to explode.
Right hand from Ellis, narrowly connecting. And now they tee off on one another with Ellis along the ropes. Ellis wants to make the most of the final seconds here. That was a calculative round.
Yes, tactical indeed. No bombs away here. Stylistically, it just came into that type of a platform where there were periodic bursts like this. Not many of them.
I think this was the most danger that Ruiz was in, though, the entire round.
TBL fans, the winner of round 22 by way of unanimous decision from the Miami Assassins, Yusmel Ruiz. The score, Miami 15, Boston 8. Our penultimate money round will be in the middleweight division. For the Boston Butchers, Rashidi Ellis. For the Miami Assassins, Giovanni Estella.
Earlier tonight, Rashidi Ellis recording his 30th career TBL win. And he knocked Giovanni Estella down in the process. And Dave, if Boston wants to rally back here and make one of the better comebacks we'll have in recent memory in Team Boxing League, he needs extra points.
Then he needs almost all of them. and he's willing to give it a shot. Take a look at all of his credentials, and he tries to change into that. And there's also a lot of risk when you have to go forward. I mean, we've seen Estella drop people too.
With 2 rounds to go, including this one, Boston needs a knockout and 2 knockdowns to tie, or 2 knockouts to win. So they are in an uphill battle for sure.
And this has, we've seen certain teams improve as they've gotten the power. And we've seen Miami have some big power displays. And Ellis is at least going to give it a shot.
It's combined speed with the power that is causing fits for Estella. And into this one.
It's the punch that gets in at the end of the 3-punch combination that you thought you had blocked. And then he can back up and corner you and try another one. This is not where Estella wants to be. Ellis is measuring it here.
A minute 20 to go as Rashidi Ellis looks for his 31st win, and ranked 2nd by the WBO, awaiting a world title opportunity in traditional boxing, also 10th by the WBC. Just missed with the overhand right.
You love watching the workmanship of Ellis. Getting right back to business.
Oh, left-handed stumbles Rashidi back. Estella connecting with the left hook. And Ellis is down on the ground. And it's a knockdown for Giovanni Estella.
Ellis can't believe it. He was caught in the entanglement. But what did we say at the very start of this? When you go for it, Estella has dropped some fighters also and is dangerous.
Estella trying to close the door for the Miami Assassins. Scoring a knockdown here over Team Boxing League's most decorated fighter in its history. Rashidi Ellis going down in the 23rd. And Ellis tagging Estella that may have wobbled it back.
Yeah, he walked into one shot, which was the left hook. Did not look initially like it was a knockdown, but it was called. It changed a lot here because Ellis probably would have had a victory because he was doing so well until he walks into a big shot. Now let's see. He's caught up in the tangle. He gets hit. That's not a knockdown. And then a knee also could have been a point deduction had the referee seen it. So there are a lot of things that could have happened here. That's not a knockdown.
I'm aware of who's seen that before with Boston.
It's just maybe like their last outing. But
he did land a clean shot on Rashidi. That did hurt him.
We give him credit.
Yeah.
Now the difference here is Ellis was probably going to get a 1-point victory if he doesn't go down there. So instead it becomes a 1 or 2-point defeat.
The winner of round 23 by way of unanimous decisions. 2 points going to Miami's Giovanni Estella. The score, Miami 17, Boston 8.
You know, the corral is lively, and so are the crowd there. You see the Miami fighters come out
money round at cruiserweight for
they have to
Boston.
entertain
Miguel
their teammates.
Teo, Miami Yuneski Gonzalez.
So this one wrapped up. Miami's going to improve to 4-0, but we get a rematch of an electric round number 15 to close it out. Miguel Teo, Yunieski Gonzalez. Teo re-entering the league tonight and beating Yunieski Gonzalez. The last time we saw Teo in a TBL ring before tonight, he was getting stopped by Gonzalez. That was last June.
And he has wiped that memory away with an inspired effort to win the first one by decision. And he just kept coming in that.
Teo trying to stick and move. Gonzalez doing a better job being a little bit more alert with some counters.
The difference in this one already is that the blitz that Teo came out with, not evident here. It's a little bit more controlled fury.
Still finding a home with that left hand, very close range. Gonzalez is almost walking into it.
He does right there. And he's not jabbing himself. So that's why he's catching it on the way in.
There's nothing behind it, but he's scoring a punch, and it's easy points for Teo.
There are two ways to get inside. One is to step in with the jab, and the other is to eat leather and pay the price for walking in. And when you're doing that, generally speaking, you're looking to get off a big shot. And you just want to get your opportunity right away. This is important here that Teo counters. And if you back up when the guy comes at you like that, you just walk into more trouble. But if you can stay there and then move forward into the momentum of the fighter coming to you, you have an opportunity to score.
Action winding down, final minute of round 24. It's been a very interesting match between these two. You thought on paper Miami would be able to run away with it. There was at times you'd think Boston has a chance to make the Assassins sweat, but Miami takes care of business when it needed to. Some surprise performances, though, from both teams.
Yeah, and here is one of them for Boston, Teo. You've had the women doing big things for Miami, Samantha Sosa and Sophia Veretti. Combined 3 points right there. This was a good scrap to finish it off.
Final of the round of the night concludes between Gonzalez and Teo. And this will make the score final as we await.
Can Teo get a double? Gonzalez says no, he can't.
One thing Boston did do tonight, they held Miami to under 20 points for the first time this season.
And well deserved. They were right there with them for much of this night, and Miami's talent pulled away.
Of round 24 by way of unanimous decision. From the Miami Assassins, Yuneski Gonzalez.
Gonzalez wins it. He splits his rounds with Teo, and the Miami Assassins, they win it by double digits. 18-8, the final in South Beach. We'll be back with Fight of the Night honors and our stars of the night. All that when we come back. The Miami Assassins improved to 4-0. Team Boxing League is brought to you by Balance of Nature. In boxing, consistency beats intensity. Balance of Nature supplements help you stay consistent with ingredients of whole foods you can easily slot into your daily routine. Go to balanceofnature.com, use code TEAM, and start today. Time now for our Star of the Fight, brought to you by Balance of Nature. Round number 5, round number 13. It featured Miami's Yoelis Molina, and he took it to Jaye Brown. This was one of the bigger surprises, a 2-round sweep for Molina.
Yeah, Jaye Brown, one of the top fighters for Boston, one of their leaders. But Molina, boxing smartly, showing some power, intensity, took it in round 5, round 13, went at him again, backed him up, inspired performance. And this is indicative of the Miami team. There are so many fighters who can be candidates for Star of the Fight. And tonight, it is him.
Miami wins it 18-8. Let's go back inside the ring with Ray Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the War Memorial Auditorium here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, your final score, the Miami Assassins 18, the Boston Butchers 8. Here are your 3 stars of the fight. Your number 3 star, Boston Butchers lightweight, Alexia De La Cruz. Your number 2 star of the fight, Miami Assassin super lightweight, Sofia Verenti. Your Balance of Nature number 1 star of the fight, Miami Assassin super welterweight, Yoelis Molina. The round of the night, round number 8 between Michael Kofi and Nestor Santana.
Coach Harmon, congratulations on a very dominant performance tonight with your team. I mean, you must be incredibly proud.
Very much.
I have a question for you, and I was wondering if you'd be willing to comment. Bob Kane, you will see the Philadelphia Smoke on May 17th, so it's coming up quite quickly. You are now advanced to 4-0.
Okay.
You guys are undefeated. Bob quite blatantly dismissed you guys last time I saw him. He said, Miami who? Oh, the team that lost by 20 points in season 2.
Yeah.
Tell me about the momentum that's happening right now and thoughts that you might have for Mr. Kane.
Well, you know, Bob's a good coach and he's got a good team, and he has from day one, so we're coming for him. He can think what he wants, obviously. We're an experienced team. It's the same team since we started, with a couple, you know, here and there. So, you know, I mean, it's not going to be a walkover this time. Absolutely.
The message has been sent.
Yeah, absolutely.
So moving over to Sofia. So sorry. Sofia, you had a tough start to your season. Tonight, you really broke through with 2 wins. What do you think clicked for you so that you're able to perform well tonight and pull off that win?
Solamente enfocarme en mis errores anteriores y corregirlos, seguir entrenando duro, hacer sparring, metiéndole garra y ganas.
It says, you know, it's correcting her errors, really working hard in the gym, and just focusing on trying to win each minute of the round and moving forward.
Excellent win tonight, great performance, and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Molina. So your team has amazing momentum going right now. What do you think created that momentum to be 4-0 as a team?
Porque estamos trabajando en el gimnasio y en equipo, que es lo importante, y vamos a coger primero este año, el equipo Miami.
Says that we work hard in the gym. We're all together. The team that you see out here is the team that's in the gym daily. Half of them, you know, reside there. So this is what we're doing. We're coming for it all this year.
Congratulations. I believe that it'll happen. Justin, back to you.
Thanks so much, Amelia. Miami wins it here on a Saturday in Week 7. On Sunday in Week 7, stay with us as we go to Atlanta. Stacia Suttles and the Philadelphia Smoke look to continue their league dominance, taking on Ariel Davis in the Atlanta Attack. It is 24 3-minute rounds awaiting you all weekend long with Team Boxing League. Miami improves to 4-0. They defeat Boston 18-8 in South Florida. For Dave Bontempo, Amelia Moore, entire TBL crew, I'm Justin Shackle. Have a great night, everybody.